Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones will begin defensive coordinator interviews on Monday. By now, it's well known just how much hands-on Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is. That will be on the front burner this week as the boys interview candidates to replace defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. Quinn left for the Washington Commanders job, leaving a major void on head coach Mike McCarthy's staff. Jones himself told reporters on Sunday that he'll be interviewing candidates for the vacancy starting Monday morning. Jones didn't reveal any candidates for the opening. But the fact that he's set to take part in the interviews tells us a major story here. He'll be making a decision with McCarthy. It certainly is an odd dynamic in Big D. Two former NFL head coaches in that of Ron Rivera, Washington Commanders, Carolina Panthers, and Mike Zimmer, Minnesota Vikings, are seen as big-time candidates for the opening. There are also rumors circulating that the respected Don "Wink" Martindale will also surface as a candidate for the opening. Dallas is obviously aiming for experience to replace Quinn. It makes sense with McCarthy seen as an offensive-minded head coach. Whoever comes in to replace Quinn will have big shoes to fill. He led top 5 scoring offenses each of the past 2 seasons and played a major role in the Cowboys winning 12 games each campaign. The favorite here has to be Zimmer. His first NFL coaching job was with the Cowboys back in 1994. He also served as the team's defensive coordinator from 2000 to 2006. Los Angeles Chargers head coach Brandon Staley said this Monday, 11, that running back Austin Ekeler suffered an ankle injury during the game against the Miami Dolphins, in Week 1 of the NFL. Ekeler was unable to finish the game in which the Chargers lost to the Dolphins 36-34, but recorded a touchdown and 117 yards on 16 carries. The running back is an important piece of the Los Angeles team's backfield. Last season, Ekeler led the team in rushing yards, 915, and rushing touchdowns, 13, tied for second best in the NFL. In total TDs, the RB led the entire NFL, with 18. Cowboys assistant Joe Witt following Dan Quinn to Commanders. News broke late Sunday that the Dallas Cowboys have lost another coach to the Washington Commanders, as new head coach Dan Quinn dipped into his old staff to fill a major position on his new one. Quinn is filling out the key positions on his staff as it was earlier reported that Cliff Kingsbury is headed to Washington to be the offensive coordinator. Joe Witt was seen as an internal candidate to take the defensive coordinator job for the Cowboys. He oversaw the passing game defense and his resume is burnished by the performance of players like Trayvon Diggs and Darren Bland during his tenure. Now he is gone, which may increase the chances of an external hire like Ron Rivera or Mike Zimmer, who have been reported as interviewees this week. Witt has had a long and successful career, and this is an overdue promotion for him. However, now between him and Quinn, our division rival has a very intimate knowledge of the Dallas offense, both from working against Prescott in practice and in having worked with head coach Mike McCarthy. We may no longer be able to assume the Cowboys are going to get easy wins against the Commanders. Dan Quinn landed in the Washington area on Sunday night with wife Stacy and was greeted on the tarmac by general manager Adam Peters and wife Jennifer. Peters greeted his new coach with a hug and congratulated him. "I'm so pumped," Quinn replied. Before even getting on the ground, the Commanders' new football decision-makers were already well underway with the start of a lot of work to do. They hired Cliff Kingsbury as offensive coordinator and Joe Witt Jr. as defensive coordinator, with those moves announced by the team Monday after reaching agreements with them over the weekend. Quinn, Peters, and controlling owner Josh Harris are set to speak to reporters Monday afternoon. There's still plenty more to do quickly to fill out the coaching staff. Then the fun part begins with tons of cap space to spend in free agency, the second pick in the draft and, of course, the pursuit of a new quarterback. Speculation began immediately about Kingsbury and potential top pick Caleb Williams, who he worked with at USC last season as senior offensive analyst and quarterbacks coach. Williams, a Washington area native, posted a message of congratulations to Kingsbury on social media Sunday after news broke. Cowboys could make splash by signing two-time touchdowns leader, analyst The Dallas Cowboys could make a splash in free agency by signing one of the more underrated players in the NFL. The Cowboys could be a potential landing spot for Los Angeles Chargers running back Austin Ekeler, writes Bleacher Report's David Kenyon. Ekeler is due to hit free agency and his Chargers tenure is essentially over. Ekeler said as much following the Chargers' regular season finale in January. "I'm not going to be with these guys anymore, and it's one of those journeys that I'll always remember," Ekeler said after the regular season finale, per Daniel Popper of The Athletic. "But sad that it has to end." As Kenyon writes, the Cowboys could offer Ekeler a deal in the $7 to $8 million per year range. "When healthy, he remains a valuable and versatile back," writes Kenyon. "The question is how the 28-year-old is balancing role, money, or team contention on what's likely the final pricey contract of his career. Dallas, for instance, may offer $7 to $8 million per year to make a splash. It's clear that Ekeler will be one of the top, and most in demand, running backs on the free agent market. What isn't as clear is his market as he enters his age 29 season, coming off of the least efficient season of his career. During the 2023 season, Ekeler ran for just 628 yards on 179 carries, 3.5 yards per carry, with 5 rushing touchdowns, and just 51 receptions for 436 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. By comparison, he posted 915 rushing yards on 204 carries, 4.5 yards per carry, with 13 rushing touchdowns to go along with 107 receptions for 722 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns during the 2022 season. Ekeler led the NFL in touchdowns in back-to-back seasons during the 2021 and 2022 campaigns. Despite his high level of production, Ekeler has never been named to a Pro Bowl. Despite that level of production, Ekeler never received the type of deal he was looking for as he entered the 2023 offseason looking to negotiate a contract extension. After stating that he felt like he was punched in the face after the Chargers dismissed contract extension talks in April, Ekeler agreed to a restructured deal, including $1.75 million in incentives the following month. Those incentives included the following benchmarks, according to NFL.com's Kevin Potra. Ekeler can receive up to $1 million for total yards, tiers from 1,125 to 1,639, up to $600,000 for touchdowns, tiers from 10 to 16, and another $150,000 for a Pro Bowl selection in 2023, wrote Potra in May of 2023. Unsurprisingly, Ekeler's reduced role in the Chargers' offense led to the veteran back not reaching any one of those contract incentives. According to Spotrac, Ekeler's market value is $7.4 million per year across 3 seasons for a total of over $22 million. The question is, what are the Cowboys' plans at running back? Dallas could bring back Tony Pollard after giving him the franchise tag worth slightly more than $10 million for the 2023 season. The problem is, Pollard isn't very efficient as a sole lead back, averaging just 4.0 yards per carry this past season. It also doesn't help that Pollard struggles in short yardage and goal line situations, rushing for just 6 total touchdowns on the season. The Cowboys could instead opt to go in an entirely different direction and sign Ekeler, who had been the NFL's best red zone and dual threat back in recent seasons. There won't be any shortage of options when it comes to the running back position in free agency, with proven backs such as Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, and DeAndre Swift also hitting the market. The Cowboys could benefit from a change and Ekeler could be the guy they target. And you fan, what do you think of the Austin Ekeler situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.